So we're off.
I got one.
Vocabulary, first 48 I'm not planning to read, but if you need a little bit of a tune-up, we could tune those up. I just read those yesterday when we did the 3-7B quiz. So if you need a lot of them, just check yesterday's video. If you need a couple, we could tune. Anybody need anything on those? I'd put the extra credit in play, same way, same stuff, all the same thing. I will do 49. You had access to this, but it's been a while. This all made the previous test on chapter 1 and 2. So 49 is a science, something about composition, something about changes, but let's get some more words to make a cogent, coherent thought. It's science studying the composition of changes and composition of substances and the changes they undergo. Would work for me. Turning the page, Lavoisier. I'll make you spell Lavoisier right. Since he invented chemistry, we can spell his name. So I'll do spelling for a half. It's L-A-V-O-I-S-I-E-R. Then density equals mass dividing by volume. The significant digits are anything other than zero. Zeros with bars on them, which you only want to use those in whole number places, never in decimal positions. Zeros between other sig figs, which is different than saying zeros between other digits, because zeros that are between other zeros can count too if they're significant zeros by some of these rules. And then zeros at the right end of a decimal number, something like that. 56 is to round first, and that's based on the place value. 58 you round last, that's based on the fewest sig figs that are in the problem. Those would be questions that I could definitely see myself reversing just to make sure you know the answer to the question and not just going in the same order. Likewise, 60 to 63, I would expect some scrambling of order. If it's becoming Celsius, it should start with the letter C. So 60 is C equals F minus 32 all on top of 1.8. 61 is F equals 1.8 times C plus 32. 62 is K equals C plus 273. If you have trouble remembering those, just try to remember Kelvin can't be negative. So if you're making Kelvin, it has to be adding because subtracting is a negativity danger zone. 63 is where we subtract. Celsius equals Kelvin minus 273. And then for the elements, it'll be all 47 represented. Half of this, I'll give the word and you do the symbol. The other half, I do the symbol, you do the word. That might actually be an easier way to do it than when I give you all of the words or all of the symbols, because like if you're not sure if it's barium or boron and it's in the other column and I use boron, well then you know it's barium. So you might be able to tease yourself into that. But I'll give you half, I'll give you one of the facts, you give me the other, but it'll be half I give names, you give symbol, and half the other way, and I'll call a timeout there. That's tomorrow's test. Tomorrow's test is that, 110. Question about what tomorrow test is about? That should be strong.
Do you need Lavoisier's first name too? Or
Nah,
last name?
Lavoisier is good enough for me.
Sweet.
If you like it, it's, I believe, Antoine. Anybody else to 110? Okay, then Friday test would be like this page to the end. The Friday test, 2 days out. Here we go. So elements would be anything that's on the periodic table. Anything that we've memorized on that elements thing. So voices, call out. Which ones have the E for elements?
Gold.
4, true.
So, 8.
8, true.
14.
14, true. If you have any other E's, stop it. But E's go 4, 8, 14. Anything about the elements? Compounds would be anything that has some kind of a chemical formula, whether you know it or don't know it. You don't know a lot of chemical formulas, but if it's something that would have a chemical formula, then that is a compound. Any confidence on that? 1, yes. Table salt is NaCl. We might know that because we read a box about table salt. But yes, any kind of salt is a compound. True.
7.
7, yes. Water is H2O. We all know that one, I think. That is a compound. Yes.
15.
15, no.
Is
There are more?
13?
Or is this-
13, yes, any acid will have a chemical formula. Hydrochloric acid is HCl. Sulfuric acid is H2SO4. Any kind of acid in the universe has some kind of chemical formula to express like what it's made of. There's another thing on this that there's always a chemical formula for any of these items.
Saline.
11?
Not 11,
Not 12?
not 12. It is 6. Sugars, anybody know the technical name of any kind of sugars? Glucose is a sugar. Know any other sugars? And with O's. Fructose, sucrose, dextrose. Those are all sugars. They all have different amounts of things. They're all CHO combos. I might remember them, but I don't want to say something that might be wrong. But they have like 6, 12s, whatevers. There's all these carbon, hydrogen, oxygen ratios. Anything that's a sugar is a compound. So compounds, it's 1, 6, 7, 13, that's it. Question about compounds? Solutions are probably easier to spot.
11?
Yeah, what is a solution first?
Your substances that can be buried within releases.
That's true. But
Basically anything
basically anything dissolved
dissolved.
in water is going to make that cut.
3.
So 3, yes.
11?
11, yes. That's like salt water is called saline. That's like what your tears are made out of that all caused by this test.
12?
12, yes.
That's it? It's
And there's
Oh,
one
2.
more in a minor bit of chemistry
2?
trivia.
Is it
I
pink?
did drop this once, and it's nothing you said yet.
Is it
It's 15. Brass is a solution of 2 metals.
That's big.
The book mentioned that, and then one day I mentioned that, but a little bit of chemistry trivia. If we want to do a solution that's not stuff dissolved in water, brass is the only one that I know. I'm sure there are others, but I'm not a chemistry professional full-time. It's just a thing I teach every 2 years. But so solution, I'll do a rundown after we do all of these. Heterogeneous mixture, you only, let's see. Now let me go to homogeneous mixture, H, the final choice. How many options do you have there?
1.
Just one, which is number 5. 5 is an H. The only homogeneous mixture is air, which means everything else is a mixture, not a homogeneous mixture, but a regular mixture, which means it's made of different stuff, like paint. You could argue paint. I will counter argue paint. Paint when you open the can. What's going on with that?
It's reacting with the air and drying.
Yeah, but like, did you ever open up a can of paint and just look at it that's been sitting in your basement for 2 years?
It's separated.
It's like all separated. There's like a watery layer on the top. There's like a really thick level on the bottom. You might think paint feels kind of like a solution, but it isn't. What's the first thing that happens if you or your parents have ever purchased paint before you've left the store?
Get a mixing
They,
stick.
they mix it and they put it in a container, yeah, but they put it in a shaker and they like shake it all up for a while. And if you paint within a couple days when you get home, you're fine. But if you don't do it, it like re-separates back into pieces. So paint is a mixture. 9, a banana is definitely a mixture because you definitely have a difference between the peel that you take off and the fruit that you eat. Your chair is definitely a mixture. These chairs, there's all the like fabricy, plasticky black portion, and there's the silvery metal portion. Those are mixtures. 1 to 15, quick rundown went C, M, S, E, H, C, C, E, M, M, S, S, C, E, S. I would strongly think I would probably do those same 15, but in a different order within reasonable changes. If I changed a banana to an apple, that's still the same concept of peels and seeds and fruit being different kinds of things. Or, you know, I don't guarantee you it's gold if I said silver, like that's fair. if I traded Pepsi in for iced tea, like, that's fair. I can't trade brass for anything. I can't trade air for anything. Some of those I could trade and it would be fair, but others that we're just stuck with those 15 in concept. So if you understand those 15, you should have no problems. Something on those. For 16 to 30, if I state the thing with an ing ending verb, that's going to be some kind of a change. If it doesn't have an ing verb, but it's just stated like a fact, that's some kind of property. Then your question becomes, did a new thing get created? Was there a gas? Could I smell it? Was there a change in color? If there was a smell or a color change or a new thing is formed, that is chemical. So I'll just go through these in order. 16 is a CC. 17 is a PP. 18 is another PP. 19 is a CP. 20 is a PC. 21 is a PP. 22 is a CC. 23 is a CP. 24 is a PC. 25 is a PP. 26 is a CP. 27 a CC. 28 and 29 and 30, 3 in a row, PCs. Let's go repeat first. Anybody need a repeat? Yep.
21.
21 was PP.
20
20 was PC.
and 19.
19 was CP. That's a bad group if you have dyslexia. Anybody repeat? All right, anybody take a minute and try to absorb why it is what I'm saying it is? Anybody want an explanation of why it is what I say it is? Other than I'm sitting in the big boy teacher desk, so I win a lot of arguments by that.
You said solution is anything mixed with water?
Yeah, I mean, that's not the greatest technical definition, but if you're looking for a quick giveaway to most of the solutions, yeah, if it's something mixed with water that you could like drink as a product, that's a pretty good sign it's a solution. Yeah, I wouldn't drink vinegar, but it has that same kind of vibe to it. I mean. Anything on that page? All right, so 31, we're just spelling out that there's hydrogen, and there's 2 of them. There's sulfur, there's 1 of them. There's oxygen, there's 4 of them, and that adds up to 7. Make sure you do a total. I've had people on this test forget to do the total, and that's an unfortunate way to miss some points that I think you can add 2, 1, and 4 together. You probably want that one. 32 is carbon has 6, hydrogen has 12, oxygen has 6. That's one of our sugars. I think that is sucrose there. H2SO4 is an acid. That's sulfuric acid. 33, you'd go C7. Make sure the 7 is a subscript, like a down little underground thing. H is a 5, N3O6. 34 is AG2S. 35 is sort of freewheeling. You could basically pick anything from the left of the periodic table or use your life experiences of things that you know, like copper and lead and silver and gold. 36, 3 nonmetals. You could use anything on the right of the periodic table, and I will give you a periodic table that day. Anything to the right of the periodic table works. I don't care what you pick there. 37, don't pick aluminum, but pick anybody else that touches that step line. 38, noble gases, where would you pick them from? The right end, the farthest right, last column on the table, you'd pick a few of them. Question on any of that business? B for both. There's 2 B for boths.
53 and 54.
Agreed. Anybody can combine with nonmetals. Anybody can exist in the free state. So those are our boths. 53, 54, both. Then let's go M for
Aren't,
metal.
Like, for 45 for hard, aren't like diamonds hard? I was trying to logic it out. and that's
Well,
not
but
hard.
it's,
Yeah, that's why I
we're doing it like, if it's hard, do we know what it is? Not as much. Like, we're looking for guarantees, like things that they tend to be. So metals tend to be hard. Non-metals, they might be hard, but there's also a lot of softies. So if it's hard, like, could it be a non-metal? I mean, I guess it could, but it's likelier, that's more of a characteristic, likelihood that it's a metal. So metals, I just gave away 45. On the quiz, you're doing like your favorite 3, so let's just hit those up. Anything that anybody has ever said about metals on a quiz, there's like 10 of them available. 39 is a metal.
42,
42 is a metal.
43,
43 is a metal. We already gave away 45 as a metal.
47,
47 is a metal.
49,
49 is a metal.
50,
50 is a metal.
55,
55 is a metal. Which means everybody else is a non-metal, so treading back through 40, 41 non-metals, 44 non-metal, 46, 48 non-metal, 51, 52 non-metal. That's probably all the exact same list of facts. I probably switched the order, but
52. Can't metals combine with metals?
they don't like to.
Oh, okay.
Metals don't like other metals. It's like possible, but it would take like human will and force to like melt them and like make them do it. But you don't get, there's never like H2O, that's a metal with a non-metal. That just naturally like does that. You're not gonna have ever a chemical formula for something that's non-metal with non-metal, or excuse me, metal with metal. They won't play like that. More to 55. Like if you melted silver and gold together and put it in a pot, you'd get something out of it, but it wouldn't.
Yeah, that's why I was
Like,
thinking.
it doesn't have a chemical
Yeah.
formula. Yeah, that, they mean combine, like you put them in the same area and they're like, ooh, let's get together and be a couple. Like metals have to be forced to other metals by like melting them down to their death and putting them together. And even if you did, you could still manage to usually get those back apart. Not you, but like,
That's how it is.
yeah. Maybe you, once you're a scientist.
Yeah, we have years.
More stuff to 55. 56, we're looking for a lot of delta Q equals MC delta T action, and then I made this page 3 points apiece. So there's a lot of value on this page total of these problems. I'll just read answers and then we can double back. I'll drop an occasional hint or two. Key idea on this, calories are buddied with grams, joules are buddied with kilograms, and if you don't have buddies, you need to like fix units. But 56, I'm saying 5.93, and then the unit for that, you don't have to memorize it, you could steal it from the table I'll give you. The table I'll give you has the 2 headings, so I'll just copy the table out of the book. Just steal the appropriate heading if you're trying to solve for specific heat. This one would be joules, J for joule on top, and kilogram times Kelvin on the bottom. 57, you need to do a change before you do any math. The 5 needs to be 0.005 for the sake of unit agreements. But answer will be 2,340, same unit as 56. Joules on top with the J, kilograms times Kelvin on the bottom. 58, you have to change the 5 to 5,000 so that it's a consistency there. Scientific notation answer for me is 4.82 times 10 to the negative 4th calories on top and grams times degrees Celsius on the bottom because we switched units.
What was it?
4.82 times 10 to the negative 4 calories on top, grams times degrees Celsius on the bottom. 59, similar, 7 changes to 7,000, you do the same stuff. It's 8.62 times 10 to the negative fourth, calories on top, grams times degrees Celsius on the bottom. 60, I tried to trick you. How did I trick you on 60 maybe?
Fahrenheit.
Fahrenheit's got to go. So 122's got to go. That's a 50. 140's got to go. That's a 60. And then we can do the math. It's 6.90 joules on top, kilograms times Kelvin on the bottom. 61 just works, 7.35 grams. 62 needs an adjustment, but we can't do it until we're done. The numbers that I gave you, we can just kind of like run with. It's going to give you back a gram answer though when you do the math. If you have 113, you have a gram answer, and that's something you do need to have. But then you change it at the end. It's 0.113 kilograms. Similar thing happens in 63. If you have a 0.00316, that's nice, you want that. You want a 0.00316 to be on a screen. But the answer is 3.16 grams because it needed a change. 64 just works. It's 0.00263 kilograms. The zeros don't count in significant digits. Those are placeholders. 65, did I say lead?
Yeah.
Okay, because my paper, I had to pencil that in. So we're grabbing lead numbers from the table. 65 is 7,800 joules with a bar on that first zero next to the 8. 66, you need to do a change before you start. 332 needs to be a 0.332. Math it out, it's 5,610 joules. 67 needs a change from 4 to 4,000. Then the answer is 16,100 calories. 68 just works, it's 156 calories. 69, we'd want to use the double formula. You'd have to convert Fahrenheit or Kelvin into Celsius, which will be negative 133 as a halfway stop. And then the negative 133 into Fahrenheit is a negative 207 degrees Fahrenheit. And then the cube problem, we've done this a few times, so hopefully this is getting a little bit more comfortable. It's going to be 4.44 grams per milliliter. 4.44 grams per milliliter. So let's do repeats first if I lost you. Anybody just need a repeater?
66.
66 is 5,610 joules.
What'd you say, 67 was?
67 is 16,100 calories.
I thought 60,200.
4,000 times 0.0310 times 130.
Wait, what?
4,000 times 0.0310 times 130.
I got joules first, and then I converted it to calories.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know. I did a quick change, 4 into 4,000, and then just rolled the equation.
What was the specific heat for lead?
Depends on which system. It's either 130 or it's a 0.0310. Did you use 4.18 or 4.184 to convert?
4.14.
Okay.
Because it turns out to be a 16,156.7.
Okay, so if you did that, then when I grade your test and mark it wrong, you get your test back and you come and you argue and you'd win.
What was 57?
57 is 2,340.
Oh, I switched.
Anybody else in repeat mode?
Distance.
Anybody in what happened mode? How do I do this mode? Anything, anybody needs any guidance to get the numbers straightened out? So that's a Friday, wait,
How did it say from 80 to 62?
62. I would go gram, let's see, 460, I would go out in front of the equals, go 460 equals. do a variable for the mass, a 0.204, because that's the number to use with calories for that, times a 20 change. Are you with that or need help to solve those?
I got that.
Okay, then solve that for mass. I would multiply the 20 by the 0.2 thing, get that figured out. 460 will divide by that thing, and on your screen would show up 113. You with that? But since we started with calories, calories can only lead you to grams. So then we have to tweak the grams into kilograms by moving the decimal 3 spots, because 3 zeros in 1,000 per kilo. So if you bump that decimal 3, it ends up as a 0.113.
Also, when you have the 65 through 68 use lead solid full, you have to memorize what that is.
No, I'll give you that table.
Okay.
Yeah, the tables from the book, I'll have them clipped out. I think what I'm giving you has a periodic table on the front, and then it has like the other stuff, I think, on the back. But I'll give you a periodic table, and I'd give you, there were 2 different like pages with numbers on it. Like there was, at the bottom of page 60, I think there were 2 numbers, and at the top of like page 65, I think it was, there was like a group of 5. I'll give you all that information. Anybody else, anything about that part of the test? All right, we can shut that down.